More news at this hour, moments before the killer crash. This is the reel that led to the killer crash. The speeding Scorpio ramming into the bike head-on. Narrow lanes and speeding car. An Instagram reel. Sahil's mother shows the killer reel to India Today. Instagram reel that led to the real death on the streets of the national capital. Take a look at these images. This is a video that has been released by the mother, where it shows the killer, in fact, Scorpio car that was overspeeding, and the lane was extremely narrow, but that didn't deter the driver, the so-called juvenile driver here, from, in fact, driving safely. And he continued to drive. That's the reel that has been released by the mother, in fact, shared by the mother with India Today television that she was referring to. As a head-on collision, as is evident at this point in time. That's the reel that was put out. That very second, take a look at that image, where that very second where there is a head-on collision with the biker who eventually died in that accident. Images are of the speeding Scorpio car being driven by the juvenile and his sister sitting on the side recording reels in the Dwarka area of the national capital. In fact, we've highlighted that for you, the biker, which in fact, there is a head-on collision eventually. That is evident here. The lane is extremely narrow, but the Scorpio car, the driver continues to drive the car very fast, as is evident. This reel was being made for Instagram, but has led to the death of a young boy, of a 22-year-old in the national capital. The mother of the victim has released this video and shown this video to India Today television, where reckless driving has taken one life. It's a head-on collision. This accident takes place. The driver, after hitting the biker, goes and hits another car. We'll put those pictures out for you as well once again, hurting the other driver as well. But these are images on your screen that have been released by the mother. They show somebody making a video from inside the car. She says it was the sister of the juvenile driver there, 17 years of age, now released on interim bail. Images on your screen are, in fact, in the very moment when this crash took place. Take a look at these images coming in. I'll go across, in fact, to my colleagues Anshul and Shreya in a moment from now, but these are details we have at this point in time. Shreya continues to be with us. Shreya, it's a head-on collision which is evident at this point in time, a narrow lane. And this is what happens, a very narrow lane. The biker also, in fact, in a head-on collision coming from the other side instead of following the bike. Describe to us what the police is saying about the biker also in these images.
Well, you know, Sneha, it's an extremely unfortunate incident. We heard the grieving mother. She's absolutely shattered with the fact that the dead body of her son was lying for 2 hours. There was no help that was there at spot. She herself reached at the spot, identified the body. It's only after then that they actually took the Sahil's remains to the hospital. She's raising concerns about the fact that how the ordeal was such that they wanted to run away. The accused wanted to run away. She's raising pertinent questions about the fact that why in hit-and-run cases getting bail is so much easy. She's saying that it's because of that there are repeat offenders who continue to do such things. So this is a mother who's seeking a change in the system, seeking a change in how things function when it comes to hit-and-run cases. And I'm telling this, Neha, not because I've covered Sahil's incident. I've covered several such hit-and-run cases before. Families get shattered. The fact that these accused get bail so easily, it's even more disturbing for them. And that is why you see Sahil's mother seeking justice right now. She's crying for justice. Her only 23-year-old son, who she single-handedly raised, lost his life.
But at the end of the day, Shreya, this is a matter which is also getting investigated. Describe this video to us as has been shared by the mother with you, Shreya.
Well, you know, Sneha, we spoke in detail. We saw that ordeal that she's gone through. You clearly can see what she's saying. She's saying that this car, look, had 13 pending challans, so many for overspeeding. What was the system waiting for? Was the system waiting for an incident to happen, someone's life to be lost? Because there should be some system in place that if a car has so many impending challans of overspeeding, that car should be stopped in the first place. That car should be, bounded. It shouldn't be there on the road. The license of these people should be cancelled. And here we are talking about the car being driven by a person who did not even have a license in the first place. So you can understand what the situation is in the in this entire incident. A car with 13 challans, multiple for overspeeding, a driver who was a minor, who was unlicensed. How was the driver on the road? Where is our traffic police? Where is our system? Why do we have these nakas only when there is a big event happening? Why don't we have regular checks in our cities? Because if there would have been a check, if a traffic police would have stopped this car, then probably Sahil's life could have been saved. Why in the first place was a car on the road in the national capital, that too being driven by an unlicensed driver? So that is a bigger question. She's not just seeking justice here from the police, she's seeking justice from the system at large, a system that refuses to listen to such cases because they say the law is easy, the law can give bail. That is why you see Sahil's mother crying for justice, saying, I don't want compensation, I don't want anything. What I want is the law to change. I don't want more mothers to lose their children like this.
This is an image, the video that has been shared by the mother with Shreya, which we are putting out at this point in time, with a speeding Scorpio car being driven by a juvenile rams into the bike, in fact, which was the biker that was coming from an opposite direction. Also, Shreya, at this point in time, questions being raised on why he was, in fact, on the streets, on the road there, lying without any help for several hours together, is what the mother has told you, isn't it, Shreya? We'll connect with Shreya in a moment from now. Shreya was in conversation with the mother of the victim there. On your screens are images of the reel that have been shared by the mother with India Today television, where it is clear the car was driving very fast in a narrow lane, and of course it was being driven by a juvenile barely 17 years of age. How is that even allowed is the big question here. A biker then comes right head on. It's a head-on collision, as we can see in these images, after which in fact the biker in fact died almost instantly, is what we are learning. But the allegations of the mother are grave, where she talks about threats that she's receiving. She's also spoken about the fact that her son was on the road, lying there in a pool of blood without any help. And the people who were an eyewitness to this said that he was flung really high up in the air before he finally landed on the streets and was badly injured, after which he died in this horrific accident. Sahil's mother has in fact shared the videos with us, talking about the fact that the Scorpio driver was indeed overspeeding. This isn't the first case of hit and run. Unfortunately, it won't be the last one. We've been reporting relentlessly on how unsafe the roads of the country are, not just the national capital, but several cities. And in the last few days, there have been many such instances of accidents that are completely avoidable. That's the tragedy of the situation. These are man-made mistakes, really, errors that could have been avoided, carelessness, negligence on the part of authorities, also of drivers who've been overspeeding, driving recklessly, leading to incidents of this kind.